What sort of bothers me these days with these technologies are the attempts to try to use it to mimic human communication. So
Mhm.
Alexa and the chat bots and email automation.
Mhm.
Now I've been reading about articles about AI that I guess can actually create content, write sort of news article pieces by cobbling
Mhm.
together, bits of facts and information, um, which I guess is feasible, but that's limited, right? Because AI at this point in time anyway still lacks the ability to understand human context, right? So
Mhm.
I posted
Hmm.
something yesterday about that I had read about last year, where an AI was tasked with reading all of the Harry Potter, all seven Harry Potter books, every page, every word, and then using an algorithm to spit out a new chapter. And the result was hilarious. I mean, it was just a hilarious read, but it wasn't good, right? It wasn't satisfying. It's sort of like teaching a parrot to say curse words. It's
Right.
funny and it's a nice party trick, but it's not really true communication, right? It's not,
Mhm.
so how could an AI like that create a persuasive argument or create an emotional connection between, the writer and the reader, between a business and a client, right?
Okay.
So, case in point for me, so I like to use a lot of figurative language, when I write a lot of metaphor and analogy and idiom. It's raining cats and dogs, right? Because that's a way to say more in less words,
Mhm.
and and appeal to the person that you're talking to, connect with them. But when I'm communicating directly with somebody for whom English isn't their first language,
Mhm.
I scale that way back, right? I try to use more literal language. I don't want to confuse somebody, because if I can confuse them, then it's missing the point of communication. And an AI doesn't know to do that. It doesn't know to pull in that context and understand what somebody, um, you know, who normally speaks French or whatever it is they speak, what will translate across, right? Um, and for what it's worth, that speaking programmatically or communicating programmatically isn't even just something that we deal with technology. It We see it with human beings too. So form letters, that we get in the mail, or we've all talked to a customer service rep who is clearly reading from a script, right? They're not
Yep.
really.
Yep.
They're waiting for you to say something that's on that script so that they can
Mhm.
read two sentences, and it gets very frustrating because you're not really being heard. It's all just triggering, and that's a human. That's not even a bot. So my appeal always to to business people in business and marketing and clients that I work with is to always use language in an intentional, deliberate, contextual and human manner to really draw on that sort of human context to not just convey information, but to build that bridge
Right.
between two people, whether it's
Right.
the writer and the reader, or a business and a prospective client. Because at the end of the day, that's what human language is supposed to do. Again, it's not just supposed to be this one way sort of transmission of information, but it's got to be back and forth. And in order to do that, there really always needs to be that context, that human context. So that's kind of where I'm
Great.
coming from.
Great.